Hello. So I just finished my very first onsen experience here in Japan, which is like a natural hot spring. And it's picture it like a hot tub, but the water is warmed from like thermal energy in the ground. And the hot tub doesn't have any jets, so it's not like a jacuzzi. It's just like a bathtub, but it's really hot. And the water keeps getting constantly filtered through it, so it's constantly fresh. And there's a lot of etiquette involved. And so I figured that now that I'm all sort of chilled out and relaxed at the end of my day here in Beppu, that this would be a great opportunity to talk about some of the things that I've learned about Japanese culture and some things that I think that Canadians can definitely learn from the Japanese people. Number one, I guess, relates to bathing. Cleanliness. Japanese people are very clean, and in order to get into the sort of communal bathing area, you first have to sort of take a shower, and you have to sit down in order to take it. You wash yourself, you wash your hair, you wash your body while sitting down in this little seat um, with a like a shower handle that you can just kind of spray all over. And yes, you are naked, but we were all born naked. We all die naked. So what? Why not? Who cares, right? Um, Cleanliness is important. And then you get into the little hot tub, the bathing area, and you just sort of sit there and you chill out. And it's okay to talk to people. I was actually in there with another dude who I don't believe is Japanese. I think he was. I think he's Chinese. And the reason I say that is because I noticed that he had a couple tattoos, which are still pretty taboo in Japanese culture. And so I think that that means that he's Chinese, and I believe that there were some Chinese characters that I saw on his shoulder. Either that or he's Yakuza, which are the people who get a lot of tattoos in Japan. So that's sort of how bathing etiquette works. And next thing I want to talk about in Japan, things run on time. Trains run on time, buses run on time, people run on time. And it's kind of nice, because it shows that people respect the commitments that they make to others, and when they say that it's the train's going to be there at 4 o'clock, it freaking arrives at 4 o'clock on the dot. And I think that's kind of nice. There's no delays, or there's very few delays, and that's something that I wish that we could have a little bit more of on the old TTC in Toronto. I'm not sure how to fix all the delays, but fucking Japan's got it figured out. Next thing is manners. People's manners here are very um, deliberate, and when you meet someone, everyone bows. You When the people who work in the service industry, uh, it feels like they've all been trained by the exact same person. When they hand you money, they count the bills first. They make sure that they're not stuck together when you give it to them and when they give the change back to you. So they give you the bills first, always with two hands, and then they give you the change and your receipt. And they literally place it into your hand so that nothing gets dropped or fumbled or anything like that. And generally, I think that there's a big, there's an attitude of service in this culture that I think we could certainly learn a lot from in Canada, especially places like, where you go to get your driver's license renewed, or when you go to get your health card renewed. I think they should come to school and learn how to just sort of treat people a little bit more humanely. They should come to Japan and figure that shit out. Next point is people are you don't leave your garbage on the train, or you don't litter here. They have a lot of pride, and they take ownership over their public space in a way that I think we could probably learn a little bit more about in Canada. Um, for example, during the recent World Cup in Brazil, people in Brazil were sort of laughing because the Japanese fans would come and they would bring garbage bags with them and clean up their entire section that they sat in the stadium afterwards. And so when they left, it would be completely spotless. It was probably cleaner than it was when they got in. It's the same thing when you're riding in public transit, or you look at the streets here and there's nothing. There's no trash. There's no nothing on the street. Everyone cleans up after themselves, and it would just be considered, horribly rude to drop something on the street and not pick it up. I was riding the bus today, and a Chinese tourist dropped just a little brochure out of their bag, and all the Japanese people literally sat there for the next 10 minutes and stared at the piece of litter on the bus's floor, waiting to see if that Chinese tourist was gonna be aware enough to pick it up. And then eventually, at the end of the trip, an old lady just picked it up off the floor and gave him kind of a bit of a scowl, and just because I think it pissed her off so much that it had been sitting there. So, final point is everyone takes off their shoes, and I kind of like that. It's a sign of respect, and it's a sign of cleanliness. When you come into a place, you take off your shoes, you throw on your little indoor sandals. I made the mistake, even when you go into a change room in Japan, like at Uniqlo or a department store or whatever, you try on an outfit, you got to take off your boots before you go into the change room. And I went in there without it, and then some lady came out and was like, no, you must take off your shoes. And so, lesson learned there. Anyways, we're getting to almost 7 minutes in the video, but so those are the things I learned. People are respectful. People clean up after themselves. Things run on time. People are prompt. People bow and respect their elders. Kids are better mannered than they are back home. They take pride and ownership over their public space, and they take off their shoes. So, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and check out my sweet robe.